me just make it big for you. Okay, so to start, I want to talk about the different roles. So as I mentioned, there's participant and there's the host. And this is kind of a nested Venn diagram. I'm trying to display that what you can control as a participant, there are many things, but what you can control as a host encompasses all the things you can control as a participant, as well as some other settings. So it is a little bit more complicated and convoluted. So let's start with some controls for participants and or hosts. Now, because this meeting is in our general Edgemont meeting, I might need to remove some settings just so you guys can play around with things. I do want this to be interactive so you get a chance to try things out. But one thing to remember is that some of these will have asterisks because they do depend on your own meeting settings. So to start, how we see our screen, our video layouts. There are a variety. So you have seen probably a lot of the times when we have classes, we put the active speaker view. So in that view, I'm the biggest when I'm talking. We also have the grid video that looks like the Brady Bunch. Is everybody familiar with both those settings? I'm trying to move to grid so I can see all of you.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I think everybody with mill classes has gotten comfortable. One distinction, though, is when we look at shared screens, for instance. So when you have my shared screen up, if you're on a computer right now, you might see a little strip over to the right side that shows some of us. And at the top, there are 4 options. The first is you hide the thumbnail video, you don't see me at all. The second option from the left is that you show the small active speaker video, which will just be a small video of me. The third option is a few of us. And then the fourth option is most of us. And if you click that option that shows the 3x3 grid, you can actually drag out and see more of us. So you can make the window bigger if you click the bottom left corner and drag out. On an iPad, it's a little bit less of an ability to make the whole grid. But what you can do is if you just see me in the bottom right-hand corner, you can click the plus that's up on the top left of me. Do you see that?
Right.
Anybody
Yes,
else?
got
And you can see most of us, and you can actually scroll through and see more people that way. So that's the way you could see people while a screen is being shared. Okay. Next up is a fun one, virtual backgrounds. This is something that is a way that you can kind of make things a little bit more exciting, or if you have a messy room, or if your child's behind you in the room, or grandchild, as my child is often behind me. It's a way that you can kind of make things a little bit more exciting. So I'm going to stop sharing this, and I'm going to share my screen so you can see how I walk through it. I think I am. I just said I would. Okay. Nope, you're still just seeing that screen. Sorry about that. Looks like I'm not going to, so I'll just walk you through it. Okay, so sorry, folks, bear with me. To do the virtual backgrounds, you can have virtual backgrounds on a computer, on iPhones and iPads. So if you have a non-iPhone tablet or phone, you can't do virtual backgrounds, unfortunately. So let's start, since most of you are on a computer, let's start with that. So what you will do is you'll go to the up arrow that's next to the picture of a camera. So you should see a picture of a camera in your bottom left-hand corner, and there should be a little up caret on it. So you can click that, and then you can click choose virtual background, and then you can select one of your options. So I'm going to go ahead and pick these irises, and go ahead and pick something if you'd like to. And it'll keep it that way for the rest of the video. If you have an iPad, it's pretty similar, but it'll be on the top right. You'll have the more buttons, the 3 dots where it says more, and you'll click virtual background.
I don't have that. I have more, but it just says chat, meeting settings, and disconnect audio. Maybe meeting settings?
Yeah, try meeting settings, but Because I'm doing it on my iPad right now and it's doing, it has the clap and the thumbs up, the chat, meeting settings. You might have, it might be in your personal settings, Patty. Let me.
I have the clap and the thumbs up, chat, meeting settings, and disconnect audio.
I'll have to test that, Patty.
All right.
I haven't been able to get a virtual background ever. And when I go to the screen that says virtual background, it says none.
So
then
does mine.
Choose virtual background, and then it goes to my own computer to upload a picture. Is that what we're supposed to be doing?
Yes, that is exactly what it's supposed to be doing. So the way that I got these is I Googled Zoom backgrounds, and this was from an art museum. And you can download different videos. Just remember where you save them. So I typically, if I'm downloading something that I'm going to use very soon, I'll save it to my desktop so I can access it easily. And then you can upload it. So
Katie, I had about 5 of them there already. I didn't upload anything, but they were there available for me, including the one that I just put in my back.
That's what I was told, that there should be some there, but mine aren't. So
they start with about 5 of them, but what I found by accident is that if you click minus as though you're removing it, I thought I was removing it. You have to click none to turn your virtual background off. If you click X on the picture that you think you're removing, you're actually deleting it. So if, and I don't know why that's the case, that seems a little heavy-handed, but Elaine, how are you able to see it?
I don't know what I'm looking for. I have a desktop.
Sure. Okay. So what you want to do is in the bottom left corner, you should see the little icon of a video camera.
I see stop video.
Yeah, don't do that. Click the little up caret that's right next to it, the upwards arrow.
Okay.
And
yes. Oh, okay. Choose virtual. Okay.
And then just select one of them.
How cool is that? Okay.
Pick one.
Okay. It's working.
It's thinking.
It's going across now. I think I may have picked what Jackie picked. Maybe we're all thinking of, oh no. Okay, there we go.
Janice, are you not showing any?
Yeah, I have, I don't know, looks like weeds. I don't know.
I think you should.
How does everyone get that?
So those are some of the default ones that come in. I've added some because I've been working on it, but those are the default ones that come in. Now I don't see
any default ones.
So Jeanette and Alice have, and I know Claire had this issue. That's how I learned about it before. Jeanette and Alice, if you go back to choose video virtual background and make sure I have a green screen is not selected.
It's not selected, but I do have this kind of plus symbol that says add virtual background image.
Yes, that's where you have to upload ones.
I press on that and I get to...
It's your computer.
Katie.
My computer.
Katie.
So should I click on the Zoom?
No, so Janice, you'll want to download some images and then you can upload them at some point. We could work on that together and we can get you some images so that way you'll be able to click it.
Okay.
So Alice, what?
Katie, it says computer doesn't meet requirements. To use virtual background without a green screen, use your Mac OS version. Needs to be 13.13 or higher, and your processor must be on Intel Core i5 with a quad core or better.
Mine says the same thing.
Whose does?
So I guess my computer is not up to date.
What kind of computer is it, Alice?
It's a Mac.
Mine's a Mac also.
Okay. I'll look into that and I'll see what the requirements are. How old are they?
Oh, old.
Mine's old.
I'm not sure. Maybe at least
old,
5
but
years.
I also have a new laptop and I can't do it on the laptop either.
Okay.
And the laptop is only like 2-3 years old. My
I got
desktop, which I'm using, is 10. So.
Okay. I will shoot you an email to see if we could schedule time to work on it.
Okay.
Jeanette, were you able to turn off the green screen? You're muted. Vivek. To me.
Oh dear.
Yeah, make sure you do not check having a green screen if you don't.
That's what I just did. Oh dear.
I think it's the computer though.
Is it?
It says computer doesn't meet the requirements.
Okay, so a lot of people are.
That's like mine, yeah.
Okay, I'll look into that, and I will probably. It might be good if we do a group chat follow-up to test that.
Okay.
And Claire, you're still having that issue?
Now I've lost. I'm lost.
I think
You're lost in the weeds. So Elaine, go back as though you're doing your virtual background and uncheck the I have a green screen.
Sorry.
I think I did that, but now I'm not on the screen at all.
I can see you, but you're really lost in the weeds, literally.
Yes.
It's actually quite cute.
Yeah. Marie Claire, you're the same.
Yeah, it's kind of imaginative.
Yeah, Katie, it's Marie Claire. I wanted to ask you, because it says a solid color video background is required. Green color is preferred. Where do you find the solid color video background?
Did it tell you needed a green screen?
Well, at the bottom, I have checked. What is checked is it says, I have a green screen and mirror my video.
Uncheck that you have a green screen.
Oh, I don't know if I have one or not.
Yeah, just uncheck it because you don't. Because I can tell because you look like a wood nymph right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it says my computer doesn't meet requirements.
Okay, so there's several of us. Then I'll send an email and I'll ask you what kind of computer you have and we'll look into it. I know that that Zoom has been working on updating the processors, whatever, those things inside our computer.
Right.
To make sure it's more compatible with different types.
Right.
So stay tuned on that. I think you're echoing, Michelle. I just muted you. Sorry. Okay. Next up.
I can't seem to, my screen is just fluttering.
It has your, it has to do with the settings. If you have to make sure you uncheck the green screen, and you may just want to turn off the virtual background for now. Just go back and select none.
I don't even know how to get to that anymore.
That's okay. Bottom left corner, the picture of the video, click the little
yes. Okay.
Virtual background.
Yes,
and then
okay.
Select none. Over at the bottom, do you have it checked? I have a green screen?
Yes, it is checked.
Uncheck that, and then that'll resolve it for you.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
You're out of the weeds now.
Yeah, the weeds are still there, but I'm not on the screen with all of you. I'm by myself.
Okay, that's just the setting that you have. I'm going to share again so everybody's back on this screen, so everybody can see the screen share. Can everybody see that now?
Yes.
Okay. So the next thing I want to share with you is
I'm not part of this. I'm still by myself.
Yeah,
I can't
that's okay.
see you.
So that's when you do the video layouts. You can see my screen though, right?
No, I only see myself.
What device? You have a computer.
Desktop.
Okay. Let me try to stop this share and do it again. See if that works.
Elaine, you have a background.
I know. Weeds.
How's that? Can you see it now, Elaine? Yes? No?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Can you see it now, Elaine?
No, I don't see you at all. I just see myself.
Okay. Well, the rest we'll just go through. It's verbal, so.
Okay, fine.
So you could just play along and I can see how you're doing.
Okay.
So the next the next feature I want to share is on computers, iPhones, and iPads, and it's called Touch Up My Appearance. It is just kind of like an airbrushing. I've told this story in some of the classes, but I was having a rough day with my allergies, and I thought I accidentally turned the Touch Up My Appearance off. So I went in and toggled it. It turns out I actually looked worse. The Touch Up My Appearance was on. I just looked that bad. So here's how we do Touch Up My Appearance. So to start with a computer, just like you were doing before with the virtual background, the same way you got to it, the bottom left, where it's the icon of the video camera, you click that little up arrow, and instead of clicking choose virtual background, you'll select video settings. And in that, you'll see a few things. You'll see a bunch of settings, whether you enable your HD, whether you mirror your video. So, you know, you may have heard of our instructors mirroring their video, our fitness instructors. But the third checkbox option is touch up my appearance. So I'll get really close. So this is without touching up my appearance. I did put on makeup, so it's not that bad. And then with touch of my appearance, you can see it kind of makes things a little softer. It's to offset the HD cameras. I remember I went to go visit, what was it, Good Morning America with Diane Sawyer and Charlie Gibson. And it was the 90s. And Diane Sawyer had like this white concealer under her eyes. And nobody could ever get away with that now because the HD cameras would see it. But before HD, that's what we're trying to go for, is the before HD look. So does everybody see how to get that touch up my appearance setting? Okay, if you have an iPad, it'll be under more
Meeting set.
And meeting settings, and you can toggle on touch up my appearance.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I have it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody having any trouble with that?
So when you
I don't
do
see any
that,
difference.
when you do that, is it you just have to check it and then exit out and then move your mouse off?
Yeah, you can just X out the settings window once you check it. Janice, maybe you don't see anything because your skin naturally looks that radiant.
I'll accept that, thank you.
Okay. Everybody see how it works?
Yes.
Okay, great. And that's something that's just a good little extra, you know, smoother, as it were. Okay, next up is screen sharing. It's what I'm doing right now. One thing that I will share to you is that, again, screen sharing is one of those things that has to do with what settings you have or not. I am going to stop my share right now. One point of caution I want to make for you. So if you're doing screen share, go ahead and click the button and it'll open up. You don't have to share anything right now. And it'll give you a bunch of options. Do not select screen. Screen is the one that will show everything you have on your computer. Not only is it distracting for other people, but if you accidentally click over to something else, everybody and their brother sees it. So you want to make sure you pick the thing that you actually want to show. So if it's a PowerPoint presentation, you'll select that. If it's something in your internet browser, whatever window pops up that looks good, you'll share that. If you are sharing some kind of video with people, can you all see in the bottom where it says share computer sound and optimize screen sharing for video clip? You'll want to check both of those if you're sharing a video. The other option for sharing, I'm going to close this out really quickly and go back to my presentation. There are two subsets within screen sharing. So one is the ability to annotate. So I don't know if any of you, right now you might not be able to annotate, but when you're sharing something on your screen, feel free to test, share something, just please nothing inappropriate. Marie Claire.
Cannot share while the other participant is sharing.
Yeah, I'll stop in a second. But I want you to think of two things when you share, and we'll share one at a time, or I'll make it so multiple people can share. You can annotate. So a window will pop up when you start sharing, and your bar that's at the bottom will now be at the top, and there'll be a little pencil that says annotate. So just look for the pencil, and it'll give you tools that you can draw on and do different things. The other sharing option that works for everything but the iPhone is the whiteboard, and that's where just a white screen shows up. So I'm going to quickly share a whiteboard so you can see it. That's it. And your annotation tools, so that's things like the ability to type, Oh, I already did something inappropriate because of a typo. The ability to draw, the ability to do different stamps. There are all these things that'll show up once you share. So I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm going to allow multiple people to share at one time. So go ahead and just try it out. See if you could share something. Open up a blank Word document if that's easiest, or share the whiteboard. The whiteboard's an easy thing to share.
Katie, I have a question.
Katie, do you open up the document first and then hit share?
Yes, yes. You want to, if you don't open it, it won't give you the option to share it. So it won't show up as an option for you.
So how do you get to your computer to find a document when you're in the Zoom screen?
When you are on full screen, if you're on a computer, at the top right, it'll say exit full screen. And it'll make it your other features. All right, so I see Priscilla has hers. I saw Patty had hers.
No, it won't let me go back onto share screen because somebody else is on it saying. You cannot start screen share while other participant is sharing.
Okay.
Oh, I have to get out.
That might be a situation with the iPad, Patty. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Katie,
it's Jackie. But
I have a question. When I go into share screen, you said don't ever choose screen?
Yes.
Okay, so when you're there, my defaults to screen. Should I be, the other choices I have are whiteboard, iPhone, post attendee, Zoom, and Zoom cloud meetings. So what do I share if I want to share a document? How do I get?
You'll want to open the document first.
But it defaults to screen. So is it not telling me it wants me to share the screen, or?
That's okay. Mine defaults to screen too. It's just the first option that's highlighted.
Okay, so I would go to Files.
Yep, you could do that.
Okay, how else could I open up a PowerPoint to share?
The normal way that you open up a document. So just open up, minimize Zoom. You'll still be on the call. Just don't leave. Just make the window small and open up your document as though you were reading it. And then once it's open, you come back to Zoom and you can hit share screen and it'll show as one of the options that you can share. Once it's open.
Share screen though.
You
said don't use share screen.
No, you want to use the function share screen, but when you click share screen, you see how it defaults to screen?
Yeah.
Don't click that screen. It's confusing that they use different words. Click whiteboard, click the name of your file if it's open.
So if the file, I don't know where to find it though. All right, so you're saying go to someplace where I can open up a document.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I can't get out of Zoom to do that. I'd have to leave.
Top right, hit exit full screen.
Oh, okay. Okay. And now what would I do? Minimize?
Yeah, you can. You can minimize and open up another document, then open the Zoom window right back up again.
Okay, so let's see.
So I see Alice shared hers. Let me just stop it if I see that you've got it. Janice, I see yours. Claire, I see yours.
How do I write the text? If I hit text, then the picture goes away.
Yeah,
because
let me go back to yours, Claire. Okay, so you hit the text, and then what?
So now let's say I wanted to write a word about it. So I hit text, and everything's gone now.
Once you hit text, click somewhere on the screen there where you want to put your text. There you go. And then just start typing.
I'm typing, and nothing is happening when I'm typing.
I wonder if
moving.
I wonder if your text is set to white.
Oh.
Do you see the options for colors?
No, I don't.
It's under
on that same bar? Where?
Yeah, it's under the same bar. It says format, and then select a different color and try again.
Right, I'm lost.
You see the bar that says mouse, text, draw, stamp, arrow,
Right.
eraser,
Right.
format.
Yes. Yes. Oh,
Click
format right there. Okay.
and then
And wait.
and then try typing again. Go ahead and click there. Yep,
yeah, how was it on white? I didn't put it on white. That's odd. All right. Other question is, then what happened to the map that I had on there?
The map that you had, what you'll want to do is you'll want to go to either stop this sharing or go to a new share and then select the map. So at the top, it'll give you the option to stop or start a new share. So go ahead and click that and then select your map.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
I'm selecting it, but.
Katie, did you happen to see my share screen when I had it up? It was.
I did, Emily.
Okay, all right.
Yep. I did. And see, Jackie, I see your screen now. You shared a document.
Yeah, I
and
shared.
you can annotate. You can, one good annotating tool is the, I don't see it now. You could do a stamp or an arrow that points to things, so you can kind of click on things and show where you're trying to highlight.
Oh, I see the arrow under draw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's an arrow under draw. There's also another arrow as a separate option.
Oh.
And I believe, let me just share my screen quickly. Share a blank one. There's also the option to spotlight. That's where the arrow is. Sorry, I was in the other annotating tools. So you see there's draw, stamp.
I don't see your screen.
That's okay, because a bunch of people are sharing right now, but you can't see my tools anyway. When you're looking at your annotations tools though, do you see it says mouse, select, text, draw, stamp, spotlight?
Yeah.
So under spotlight, you can either select the arrow that you can kind of drag around, or you could select what's called, what is it called? Spotlight, I don't know. It's a little magic wand looking thing. What I'll do is let me just, all right, Jeanette, you got it? Awesome.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
What do you do with
it? You have that little highlight. I
What
don't
is
know
it?
what you do with your PowerPoints, but okay.
Oh.
Emily's got hers up. If you at the top where it says you are viewing so-and-so's screen, there should be something that says view options, and you select other people's screens to see them.
Oh.
Do you
What screen sharing?
View options?
Yep. Do you see it?
No.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can.
Is it in the? It's under more.
It's up at the top where there's a little green bar. It says whose screen you're viewing. Do you see that? You may not be able to see it if you're sharing your own. You might have to stop sharing to see others.
Oh, okay.
But you could drop down. That's how I'm seeing other people's.
Yes, now I see. I stopped the sharing, and now I see another screen. Oh, now I see view options. Okay. I had to stop the sharing.
And then you have other people's thing.
Right.
Oh, I see. Oh.
Okay. So that's, you typically won't necessarily have a situation like that where you're all sharing, but maybe you will. Maybe depending on what kind of thing you're having.
I think I like
so
that.
So that's how you can share your screen.
Yes.
Thanks very much for showing us. It was great.
Right.
Good. Yeah. So that's how to annotate.
I want to be teaching classes soon. That's good.
Yeah. Good. Hey, more the merrier, please. All right, let me go back to the PowerPoint presentation. There are a few more things. So we covered the screen sharing. Again, that depends on the meeting setting. So you might get it. So in the beginning of the meeting, I had to toggle over to allow Michelle to share her screen, to allow participants to share the screen. If the meeting is set so that participants cannot share, you can. But if you're the host, you can basically do whatever you want. Nonverbal feedback. That's another way that you can provide feedback to the speaker. There are a few options. So to start with the computer, at the bottom, you should see a reactions option. Do you guys see that? Where it says
yes.
There are two that will pop up. You could clap or give a thumbs up. So I see it, and you can check it again to turn it off. You guys are so positive. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
I can't turn it off.
If you select it again, it doesn't go away?
I think I just went away.
You turned it off.
No, it doesn't go away.
But what happened to my picture? I'm not on the screen anymore.
Oh,
You have to go off of
I
it.
Oh, I know. We probably have more. I see it. I see.
Yeah. Okay. So then I guess this one just goes off as a timer, because I know as a host you can also I can turn off your clapping and all that. You can actually do more options than just that. So before we move on to the more options, for an iPhone and other smartphones, it's the bottom right. You select the ... and then there's the clapping or the thumbs up. The iPad, Patty, you've got it. The iPad's the top right, the ...
Mm-hmm.
You can also get other reactions, and that's by opening the participants window. So you saw reactions. Now if you click where it says participants, or if you're on an iPad, it's top right. Do you see the more options on the bottom?
Yes.
Of that window that just opened?
Yes.
No, go slower,
Yes.
go faster, and there are more. A few of you need a break. You got to go to the bathroom. Thanks for telling us. But this is good feedback for the host, so that the host can see, do I need to go faster, go slower, etc. In case you're all muted and you need the chance to ask a question or what have you. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Could you say that one more time, please? Where is that?
Sure. It is. What device are you using? Computer?
Under a computer, an iMac.
Yes. Okay. So see the participants option at the bottom bar?
Yes.
Your options, click participants. It'll open up a new window that lists everybody.
Right.
And that's along the bottom. You can see the yes, the no.
Oh, I see there. Okay.
And this is one that you can unclick when your issue is resolved. And I can also clear all of them as the host.
that's going to drive some people nuts if I use that tonight.
You use these powers for good, okay?
What's the video camera over there off to the far right? By the microphone, there's a video camera.
Your start video option, you mean?
Well, it's under participants where you're just talking about, but there's the name.
So that's another way. That'll show who has their video on, who has it off. So if you see it's red, it means it's off. So if you're scrolling through and you see, first of all, you probably see my green level going up and down, knowing that I'm talking. My other devices have the red X through them because I have the video turned off, because you only need to see one of me. And then it's the same thing for the mute. So if somebody's muted, it'll have the red and the line through it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So back to these.
When you host a meeting, you have a lot of different windows open? Is that?
I do, yeah. It's, if you saw my setup right now, it is something that you tend to have like one window smaller and another bigger. So let's talk about hosting, because I think a hosting is, it's a little bit of a misnomer, because I think people think of the host as the person who's presenting. And it's not always the case. In fact, it's pretty hard to be the host if you're the person presenting. As many of you have probably seen Michelle or me scrambling in the background trying to address issues while presenters can focus on presenting what they're doing. But if you're in a small group, it's not as onerous. So a host has a lot of control over what settings are allowed and what aren't. Depending on what level of account you have, so if you have a free account versus a licensed account, you get different settings. I use my personal account, so I had a sense of what the free settings were, because as you know, we're using a business level, a higher level account for work stuff to make sure we can, accommodate everybody with the mill, etc. So depending on the ability of the account, you can do many things as a host. One, you can schedule a meeting and set its settings. So since most of you have it downloaded on your computer, you probably recognize the screen, and let's see if it'll let me share it. It keeps saying it won't. Hold on one second. Just want to make sure. You probably see the little meeting window So let me just share my screen. Worst case scenario, you know what I'll do? I will start video on my iPhone. Flip it around. See, we're learning every which way. So this screen, many of you can see this screen, right? You have this when you first open up Zoom. You download Zoom. So this is the easiest way to schedule a meeting. You'll click the plus button here to hit schedule Zoom, schedule meeting, and you start a new meeting. You can start a meeting right as soon as you want to. This may be what it looks like when you first start. So you could schedule a meeting, start a new meeting, etc. Does that screen look familiar to most people?
I don't see what you're talking about.
I'm only seeing everybody else here. What screen is that?
All I see is everyone.
Yeah, can't really see it.
We don't see it. I don't see it.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me spotlight my video. Sorry about that. Let's see. Bear with me. I have to use multiple accounts. So, all right. Now you can see my iPhone camera large, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Whoop, not the right thing. Oh, come on. No, it won't let me do it. Hold on. This screen.
Oh, yes.
Does this look familiar to people? It looks a little different because I'm in a meeting right now, but this is the
right.
Schedule.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
So you have to go into the Zoom and with your own account. Is that what you do? Because I usually just hit a link and I don't have my own account.
You have you downloaded Zoom?
Yes, I have, but I just left it that way.
Okay, well,
because I found all the links worked, so why have an account? But in order to host it, you have to have your own account.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so when you download Zoom and you see those options where it said join meeting or meeting or return to meeting, it'll have the option to just start a meeting. So if you want to start something instantly, that's your option. If you want to schedule it ahead of time. So for instance, when I, have a meeting that's one-on-one, I'll schedule it, I'll send somebody the invitation, etc. So that's how you start a meeting or schedule a meeting. That's the easiest way. So within those options, back to my presentation.
And that's something on the basic that you don't really pay for. It's 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you want to continue it, you just hit schedule meeting and another one will come up right away.
If you want to continue it, what the trick, the gray
trick is, right?
You end the meeting. You talk to everybody before it's going to end. You end the meeting and have them all click the link again to join again.
Exact same link.
Exact same link. One weird thing that I've discovered with Zoom that I didn't realize at first was that you can actually, even if something's scheduled for a time, you can start it whenever you want to. It won't disappear. It scared me at first. But for instance, if we had, if I had a mill class, I can go in early, test it out, mess around in it, and close it, and it doesn't disappear. It's still available for when the mill class actually starts. So a schedule doesn't really just reserve that time, and starting it early doesn't use it up, for lack of which I didn't realize. It seems counterintuitive to me.
So the host can really start the meeting anytime she wants to?
Yes. And in fact, the host is the only person who can start a meeting.
That's right. But it doesn't have to be at the scheduled time.
It does not have to be at the scheduled time.
Oh, so all you need is the link all you need is the link.
Katie,
yep.
If the host starts the meeting early, can the participants then come in early?
Yes. So that's how we've been doing the mill classes. We've been starting the meetings a half hour early because they're technically just scheduled to be the time, that it said on the registration site. But we've been starting them a half hour early, and then people can join. Depending on the setting, you can have the people come in. Now we have set, this will be one of the settings that I'll talk about next. So we'll get to that. So you can require a password. It's something that I suggest, especially now that the links have them embedded. It's one of those good safety features that Zoom has put in. They've also put the security button at the bottom, so you can boot somebody out of the class out of the room very quickly. So
only the host.
Where's that? What does that look like?
So is the host the only person who can see the security button?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So can you share that? Can you share your screen so we can see it?
Yes.
Please.
Yeah, I'll have to do it with the iPhone again. Hold on a second.
I forget the magic words sometimes because I'm alone so much.
It's so funny. I didn't even notice, but. Okay, let me spotlight this video. So since I'm screen sharing, everything's at the top, so it's almost backwards from what it usually is. Normally it's at the bottom with up arrows, but you can see I've got the same features that you typically have, and then there's security. And when I click security, I can lock the meeting, which means nobody else can come in. I can enable a waiting room. We'll talk about that in a second. And I can change what you guys can do. So I can change whether you can share the screen, whether you can annotate on things that are shared, etc. I can remove people and report users as well. Okay, and you can see some of the other things. I could request to control your screen if you were doing, say, I had a situation where I had a person who was, let me just stop this, who was doing a presentation. We were doing a joint presentation. And so she started with her presentation, and then she gave me the remote control of the presentation. So we didn't switch between computers. I just gained control of her presentation. So you can see how that could be used for bad things too. So it's all about balancing. And I think that's what we really struggled with setting everything up, is balancing people being able to access and people having, you know, a secure experience. And so that's why it's really good that Zoom has now done this option. So when you send the link out, you just click it. It's got the password in, it's got everything. So if you're supposed to have the information, it's easy. If you're not supposed to, good luck, because you have to guess a, you know, 6-digit password plus a 8-digit class code. You can also do a couple settings with videos, and you might have seen this with middle classes in particular. We set it so the host video is on. So when I log in as the host, the video automatically starts recording, but we set our classes so the participant video is off. That is an extra step for you, but for our purposes, that was an intentional decision. You're choosing to start your video, right? So it's not like I'm peeking into your house before you get a chance to turn it off. So if you're doing a book club, maybe you want to set it so the participant video starts defaulting as on. Or maybe you just want to keep giving people the option to choose it or not. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So I can record my own, if I go into a class, I can record the class myself?
Yes, you can record to your computer. I forget if I think the basic accounts don't have the ability to record to the
you
cloud.
can't on basic,
So
I tried.
Oh, okay, never mind. Thank you.
You could use it, but this is different than the video. So video on just means the video camera is on, so you can see me, as opposed to recording. But yes, you can choose to record your meeting as a host. You can also use
only the host can. I'm sorry, Katie. Only the host can choose to record.
It depends on the settings. So if the meeting allows participants to record the meeting, participants can.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next up is whether or not you use a waiting room. So
We
Michelle
know.
and I were talking about using a waiting room. We don't use a waiting room for the middle classes. A waiting room is basically you try to get in and the host has to admit you one by one, or says admit all, but it's a conscious decision for the host to admit you. It's another safety feature that they've started. We were talking about, you know, for drop-in tech support. A waiting room is a good option because you work with somebody one-on-one, and then they're done, and then you admit the next person in the waiting room, etc. So it works like a waiting room. The host can admit people or you know, kick people out if it's some nefarious actor. Another option is allow join before host. And this is what I was talking about before, Jackie. We don't allow join before host because when we first got training, the trainer said, why do you want people milling around in the room before you're there? What's the point? So what we did is we made it so we don't allow join before host for these classes because we want the host to be there to be able to moderate, to make sure nobody is, you know, doing something that they don't need to do. It's the equivalent of you know, unlocking Edgemont. You know, we can't just wander into Edgemont before we're there to unlock. But if you're doing a family call or a book club, you may not care, right? If it's a small meeting, it's a little different than something that's a quote unquote public meeting. So that's another setting that as a host you can set or not set. You can choose to automatically record the meeting. We have chosen to automatically record the mill classes because Michelle and I can both attest to this. As a person who missed the first Tai Chi class, I didn't record it because if it's not automatically recorded, you forget to start it. You know, you start everything else, you mute everybody, and then you forget about the recording. So what we've been doing is automatically recording, and then our person from TV34 will crop out the time that we're just chatting and talking to each other, and then he uses the recording to put on YouTube and TV34. But if you have some kind of something where you want to set it up to automatically record, say you guys haven't seen a family member in a while, and you just want that memory to be easily accessible, that's a really easy way to do it.
So, Katie, if you record, suppose I did a family meeting and I'm recording it, where does it go? How do I get it?
Sure. So it'll go to your computer, and you can set where it goes on your computer in your settings.
When you set it up to record?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'll send you the link on that, Priscilla, on how to set up recording. Because I think there are a lot of situations where people will want to record. If it is something that's big, you can always do something like open up a Google account where you can upload it to the cloud and access it later, or a Dropbox account, something that can save off of your computer depending on how much storage you have, just so you don't have to make the choice between, you know, deleting a video of one child or the other. It's a different kind of Solomon's choice. Another option or another control that a host has is the ability to assign other people as a host or as a co-host. Some of you may have seen me frantically log on to a classroom, assign the presenter as the host, and drop off again. And that's because you can only host one meeting at a time. The host is the only one who can start the meeting. The co-host can do almost everything else that the host can do, with a few exceptions. So the co-host can mute everybody or unmute people. And that's a really good feature when you are in a situation with a class. I think Michelle and I both have had battles with people where we keep clicking mute and they keep clicking unmute, and you have to be quiet while the instructor's talking, but you keep going back and forth with the battle of muting and unmuting. You can also assign breakout rooms. So that's something that you can use. For instance, say you have a large group and you want to divide up your meeting into smaller groups to talk about different topics. If you have a book club, for instance, and you have people who are at different phases in the book club or are taking different spins on it, whichever way you want to do it, a breakout room is an option where it's almost like if you're at a conference and you went to different classrooms. It's a virtual version of that. We have used it a few times if people had issues with tech and class was about to start, and we said, okay, let's go into this separate room so that, you know, the class can start and we can work out whatever tech issues you have. It is another feature that you could use. And then you can also conduct polls like I did earlier today. So because some of you are interested in hosting, don't know to what extent you'd want to use these features, what I'll do is I'll send a follow-up email that has the links to all these instructions. For instance, I had never conducted a poll before today, so I had to go look up on Zoom to see how you do it, because I'm like, I don't want to be typing it in the middle of the meeting, typing up the options. That's going to take forever. So I had to learn how to do that. So to that end, one of the really good features about Zoom is they do have a really robust Zoom resource center, for lack of a better word. Their support center, while you can't email anybody right now because they are inundated, they have put up a lot of stuff either by video or by walking through, and they're also pretty good about dividing it by operating system. The last two things that host can control are, again, muting and unmuting people and ending the meeting for everybody. So if you've seen the meeting where the instructor, you probably had this earlier on, the instructor didn't know how to turn everybody off, so they had to wait till everybody left one by one. It was the awkward like wave for 10 minutes. The host is able to turn off the meeting for everybody. So it'll say the host has ended the meeting. So you may have seen that situation sometimes where Yep. Lastly, I want to leave you with a couple resources. The first is this general support.zoom.us. I will send some targeted links from this because you can start to get a little overwhelmed. One thing I found is that Zoom defines things a certain way that may not be the way you think of it. For example, we just talked about hosts and co-hosts. They have a very specific definition. It's not the presenter, it's your role and your abilities within Zoom. So it's very easy to get lost in the beginning in this support website, despite it being so robust. So I'll send some of the targeted links based on what we've talked about today. I also am sharing this link, this YouTube link that is from, and I'll send this by email as well, that is from the group Manhattan Prep, who helped our mill instructors learn how to teach via Zoom more effectively. We had that training on, what was it, April 13th, and the semester launched April 14th. So like trial by fire, but they were fantastic. And they've set up a new playlist, YouTube playlist. It is geared towards teachers because that's what they primarily do. Manhattan Prep, it's test prep. It's like SAT prep, etc. But it has a lot of useful information for people who are hosting for the first time. That's all I have for prepared remarks. I want to ask if there are any questions that people didn't get covered today. If there's anything you want me to send out by email.
Will you be doing any more Zoom classes?
I wasn't planning on it, but I probably can. Especially if there's a focus to it. You know, it's sometimes hard to know what people want to achieve. I will also say that I think the one-on-one tech help will be helpful too. To do a one-on-one, you know, if you have a specific thing that you want to do, Zoom has so many purposes that, you know, one person may want to focus on one thing and another wants to focus on something else entirely different. So,
okay.
It's Marie Claire. Would you send us a link on how to spotlight?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So that is, Marie Claire, I'll let you do it right now. I'm going to make you a co-host.
Okay.
Don't mess it up. I'm serious. What I want you to do is, are you seeing all of us as like the Brady Bunch?
No, I have you a speaker view and everyone as a galley view on the side, little tiles.
Okay, so go hover over somebody and you should see the ... next to their, their video. Click the ... and select Spotlight Video.
Oh, okay.
What did she press?
She made Spotlight Video. You can't see it because you're not the host. So, so that's how that works. What I will say, if you're recording, and this is something I've had to learn because it's kind of an art, I'm gonna take my power back, Marie.
Okay.
No longer the co-host. So one thing that I've learned is there are two options. You can pin the video, which allows the person to be big and you can see them, but it won't translate to recording. When we're recording these classes, I don't know if any of you are in the art classes. I think a couple of you are. Yeah. If we're recording, whatever video is spotlighted is what gets recorded. So when we're trying to go back and forth between the instructor and the paper, that's when we're going back and forth spotlighting video. Most of the time, active speaker, which is the default without any spotlights, does the trick. Because even if you're in the gallery view and you see everybody, it typically does, you know, allows you to see the different options and see who's speaking. And if you're in gallery view, you can see me lit up.
Katie, what does the pin video mean? What does that mean?
Pin video, can you go ahead and pin a video, because I can't remember if pin video shows.
Well, I went on Claire and I hit pin video and now it's showing her screen.
Right. So I'm pretty sure pin video is only for you as an individual. Okay. Let me see.
Does anybody else see Claire's screen?
No.
Okay,
no. So I think it is. See if the rest of you are able to hover over somebody's video, select pin video.
You mean the three
dots? Yes.
Okay. So that allows you to pick who you want to see. You can be a stalker and look at whoever you want to see, but nobody else will know. And it won't change the recording.
Okay.
Okay. And if you want to unpin, you can just hover over it and select un.
Wow, that's a lot of power.
Now, where's the pin? I don't have a pin.
Right? Don't let
iPad.
Wait till you get to it. Okay, let me see, Patty. Yeah, you don't need to pin, Patty. You just at the bottom where you have all those speakers.
Yeah.
You see all those? Just tap whoever you pin. That pins it. Just tap somebody, and their video gets big. You see it?
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, and they don't know it.
Yeah, they don't know it. We don't know.
Wow, that's not really fair.
No. You're checking out their eyes or something.
Weirdos. Yeah. Emily, I see you have your hand up. Excellent use of the nonverbal communication.
Yes. Last week I was seeing a Zoom with the Montclair Historical Center, and they had subtitles. Do you know how to do that?
Yes, it's one of the settings.
That's under host?
Yeah, was that on a video they were sharing?
No, it was under as the lady from the museum was talking, her words were down at the bottom.
Yeah, so there is an option to do, let me see if I could get it.
She said it was the first time she tried it, so, and it worked.
Yeah, that's good to know. There is an option to do closed captioning.
Yeah, closed captioning.
But every time I've seen it, it said that you need to use like a third party. So I haven't used it yet, but I'll look into that and I'll send an email out because that's a good thing to have.
It's a good thing to have if you have like older people that sometimes need to see the words.
Yeah, and we've had classes where the instructor's microphone was very quiet. So
yeah,
I'll look into that and I'll send an email out.
And then
I actually found it distracting, but I could see how it would be helpful.
So I'll look into that and see if you as the participant can turn it off. Because that would be good too.
Well, that would be good to know too.
Yeah.
I have a couple of questions. Oh.
Katie, it's Marie Claire. Can you tell us how some people have like you have when you stop your video, a picture comes up of you. How do you do that?
Okay, remember that Zoom, the program that I showed you when I used my iPhone to show you the screen? Mm-hmm. If you open that window in the top right, you should see like a little icon that says, it'll probably say M or MC on yours. And then you go to settings. No, I'm not gonna find it. It's not there. Hold on. It's under my profile. I'm sorry, not settings. If you go down to my profile, it'll have you sign in on the website, but it'll let you pick a picture to upload. But it's under your profile. That's also where you can check for updates, is clicking either, in my case, it's my little face, or in your case, it'll be the little letters. If you click that and then go down to check for updates, that's the quickest way to check for updates and not run into an issue with not being updates. I've just been checking every so often, and there quite often is an update, even if it's not one of the big ones. There frequently is, and I've noticed that some of you might have experienced it. If you don't update it, first it won't let you start your video, then it won't let you sign on at all. So be sure to keep checking for updates.
I'm sorry, Katie, where was that again?
Sure, Claire, remember the, hold on a second. It's too many of me. It's hard for me to keep track. So remember this when you open the program, Zoom program, up here in the top right, you're gonna click that and scroll down to my profile.
Okay.
And if you open up the website, you'll need to log in, and then it'll allow you, let me see if I can do it really quickly so you can see. Sorry, I hope none of you get seasick. Okay, so here, when you log in,
how did you type that without getting a keyboard on your phone?
Oh, I'm using my computer. So I'm just videotaping.
Oh, your video.
No, it's not my video.
Okay.
Yeah, this is, if you could see, here, I'll show you. You could see my whole setup. I've got, first of all, this is my children's playroom. So I've got iPad, I'm holding my iPhone, Samsung Galaxy. This is my laptop hooked up to a TV, so it's bigger, which is why I always look like I'm looking up, because the little light, that's where my camera is, but I'm always looking up here. The things we do to make it work, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
I have a couple of questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. When you talk about that the virtual tech support, is that for anything or is it just Zoom tech support?
It's for anything.
Okay.
But just remember, you're going to have to be able to use Zoom to use it, if that makes sense.
Okay. And when you say that this is recording, where can you find it? And sometimes I see that they say, go to YouTube. Well, where do you go to YouTube to get it? And how do you get it?
Sure. So our local TV station, the manager there has been pretty good about putting up videos. So he puts things on TV 34. So if you have TV 34, you could watch it there, depending on the schedule. And then he also has been putting them up on YouTube. He's made a special channel just for us. So the easiest way to get to it is if you go to www.lifelongmontclair.org/YouTube, and I'll put this in the chat. That's another good tool. It'll take you right to YouTube's website on the channel.
Oh, okay.
So I made a shortcut. So I just sent the chat so everybody can see.
Isn't it also on the side panel of the new newsletter?
Yes, I think it is. Right, Michelle?
It's on, you can find it there.
It is. Yep.
The TV 34, is there a schedule that's accessible to us?
Yes, I forget when I sent that out. I sent that by email.
But it tells you when each class is on there?
Yep. And he's been trying to do that as long as there isn't some other issue. Here, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen really quickly so I can show you. Hold on a second. Come on. Okay, so if you go to www.lifelongmontclair.org/YouTube, see that whole URL? This is what'll open up. And he has been putting it by playlist, so he does it by class. So he's really gone above and beyond in that regard. I'm really appreciative.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
The other place that I would suggest you sign up is lifelongmontclair.org/updates. And I'm a little salty about it right now because I just spent a half hour earlier writing the update and the site crashed and lost the entire thing. So I've got to, but here's where you can subscribe to email alerts over here.
Over where? I'm sorry, I missed it. Can you point your finger?
Right
here.
I
see. Uh-huh.
And if you click that, you can choose to get updates. I would not select choosing to get updates as soon as I submit them, because if I make a mistake and have to go back and fix it, you'll get another alert. I would just choose to get an update a day. I try to do it on Tuesdays once a week. And then this is also where I've posted information about the schedule. Let me see if I can find it. No, nothing.
Were you always this tech savvy?
No and yes. In some things I've been tech savvy, and in some things this has been a really long learning curve. This has been an experience for sure.
You've done a great job.
Thank you. Here's the TV 34 schedule as we have it. It will change once the mill ends, but this is on that lifelongmontclair.org/update site. So I would recommend subscribing to that. It also, I set it up so it'll go to our Facebook page. So if you go to facebook.com/lifelongmontclair, it will, every time I do a new post, it automatically posts to Facebook. So that's another source for information. We have just started reprinting and doing the newsletter again, so that's being shared on those sites and you can access it digitally. That's a great place to get your options, but you can see this is how it shows up when I post something. We posted something new on lifelongmontclair.org/updates, and it'll start saying all the things that is on the site. So if you prefer Facebook, that's the way to go. Any other questions?
Sometimes I'm in meetings and the audio, it sounds like you're in a hole somewhere, like it's, you know, and I don't, and so is that what the tech meeting can address?
Yeah, so usually that has to do with the main way that people use that up arrow next to the video and then also next to the microphone at the bottom is to mess with their sound system. So you can actually, if it's you that's having the issues, you can test your speaker and microphone. You can select a different speaker or microphone. You can switch to phone audio if you're having really bad troubles, and it'll give you the phone number to call in and you can listen by phone. So those are the ways you could troubleshoot on your own. We actually had with Jean, with Jean Lyons, with her yoga class, her microphone was set to auto, but that meant it wasn't picking her up. So we, manually corrected it to make it louder. So there are a lot of settings that you can mess with your audio.
Katie, did you know if you have the free subscription, you get cut off after 40 minutes, but if you're just the host and one participant, they don't cut you off?
Yes, so if it's 2 people, they won't cut you off. The other thing is, for our situation, if say I have a licensed account and I made one of you a host, I could leave the meeting and I have conferred the license level to the person, whether they've had it or not, for that meeting. So if I made one of you the host and left, you could keep this going as long as our license allows it. So that's another option that kind of allows you to have a little bit more flexibility with meetings.
I have a more general question about Zoom versus, a lot of people are talking about Google Hangout, or I think they changed the name to something else, but
yeah.
Is there any advantage that you know of for Google versus Zoom, or disadvantages?
Honestly, I've been trying to stick to just Zoom, because once you start using other things, it becomes so confusing because they're just similar enough that
it makes me feel good.
Yeah, and
no, it does. So I'm saying, I should try it, but no, I don't think I will. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean you could, but I found it's a lot easier to just stick to one thing. I've had to switch to WebEx for some things. It's really not intuitive. I had to fight to get Zoom as an option because the town is not using Zoom. And I'm like, look, if I can't figure out WebEx right now after trying for how long did I try? I was pushing it. Michelle's like, can we just use Zoom? I was like, but the town has a WebEx license. And I was trying to make it work for weeks. And it's like, forget it. We just need to do Zoom. We just need to do Zoom. So I find stick to one and it's a lot easier.
Yeah, Bergen Community College is trying to use WebEx for us, and it just didn't work. It's really complicated. Like you said, it's not intuitive.
Yeah.
And plus a lot of families are using Zoom, so it's easier to connect with, your kids or grandkids. And I mean, it was one of those convergences, I think, and everybody just was Zooming. But I think we've tried everything from FaceTime. We did a Google Hangout the other night, and it was really kind of wonky getting everybody on board. So
Facebook Messenger, not better either.
Yeah.
There, where are you? We can't see you.
On purpose. It was blow drying my hair and I didn't finish and the class was coming on, so I'm half blown out.
I just remembered midway.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Yeah, this is good.
Happy to. Thank you. If you come up with anything specific that you think would make another good Zoom class, let Michelle or me know and we'll see if we could work out to schedule it. And I'll shoot a follow-up email to everybody. And then if you have any other questions that come up, send me an email. I'm, in and out. I do have 2 small kids that we're, hoping to not fail kindergarten and 2nd grade. Email's definitely the best way to reach me because I can respond as I figure it out. Yeah.
will this session, today's session, be recorded somewhere where we can watch it again?
Yes, I will forward it to all of you with the links that I.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Okay.
As the host, how do you know, or do you get a list of everybody who's here and our emails somehow?
No, I just, because
No.
I have the power of the mill registration system too. So I'll find everybody's email
Okay.
that way.
So you just wrote our names down to know who we are. It's not in the capabilities of Zoom that you're familiar with.
I could chat to you, but no, it's not. It's not.
Okay. I was just curious.
It's probably good because it's a bit of a privacy. You get to choose whether someone emails you or not. But yeah, I have limited power, but I wield it.
You want to also mention that Alex, starting next Thursday, is doing a virtual tech help at the library. So, meaning Zoom, but he's at the library, or he's probably home, but he's the library. So if you have library questions, accessing your virtual library card and all that kind of stuff, or even questions about your Zoom or anything computer related, he'll be taking, starting at 10 o'clock next Thursday.
And that'll be in this room, right?
Yeah, in this room, exactly.
In Edgemont. That's what we're calling this. That's why we're calling it the online Edgemont classroom.
Right.
It's the same.
So it's the same.
Yeah, every single thing.
It's all the same.
Michelle, how is that going to work? Do we have to register for that, or we'll just show up and then we're placed in a waiting room?
That's what's going to happen. He'll take people in order that they joined, and then you'll be in a waiting room until it's your turn. Just like if you were at Edgemont waiting, you'll just be.
Right.
You could go about your business until he pops on and says, "Okay, I'm ready for you, Marie Claire." And then
this Thursday.
no, next Thursday. This Thursday we still have mill classes, so we can't be in. Well, we can be in two places at once virtually, not on Zoom. So we'll wait until we'll start that next week.
That's going to be continual every Thursday, or because it doesn't say it on the schedule, it just says 7 on.
Yeah, it will be. It's on the actual master calendar. I think I have him until the milk sessions start mid-July, and then he'll take
Have until the 9th of July.
Yeah, and then it'll be hiatus until the mill summer session is over, and then we'll get him to start up again. And just as a reminder, tomorrow morning is Lissy's doing a chair. This is an Edgemont chair yoga class. You don't need to register. You just need to use the same login information you just used. That's 10 a.m. tomorrow. And she'll go to about 10:50. And then right after that, there's a wellness talk with Unicity Healthcare. And there's a nurse and a geriatric care manager talking about stool. Interesting. We're calling it potty talk, but
bar stools?
About your stool.
No, not bar
your
stools.
three-legged stools.
Right.
But we actually were going to do this in person. We had this scheduled months and months ago, and I thought this might be a better, because we could all be like under the cover of we can change our screen names even, and just
we can stop our video.
Because it is a bit personal, but again, it's our health is important. So we'll be doing these wellness talks. I have a lot of interesting wellness talks. So that's this. The first one is tomorrow at 11, and then that's a lot of good stuff. And then I have a virtual happy hour on Friday, and there's still one more Zen art class on Thursday, Mill, and one more out the window watercolor class on Thursday.
So on Friday, will we be getting our deliveries before the happy hour? Are you going to be dropping? No. No, I think so I can enjoy happy hour if you don't drop it off for me.
Is that happy hour? Is that on the update? Is that why I don't see it, or?
It was in the calendar.
Okay.
What are you showing me? I don't know what that is.
I don't know. It was a class description.
Oh, it's on there. It's actually on there. You'll see it there. It's Friday. I think I'm pretty sure it's on there.
Is there any updates
I don't think it is.
What was your question,
Emily? Is there any updates on when libraries are opening?
Not that we know it, but you can ask Alex next Thursday. Maybe he'll have more insight.
Oh, I really miss the library.
It's a music thing, right? In the afternoon, and you said bring your cocktail.
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking about?
Friday at 4, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll put our orders in.
It's not called happy hour. It's music something.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, it's musical memories. But we're calling it happy hour. You have to be BYOB or.
Right, but on the calendar though.
No, you're right. You're right.
It's a cover. It's a cover.
Did read part of the description is bring your cocktail.
Yes.
Priscilla.
Katie, the chat, I can't get, usually I can just press enter to get out of it. Is it because you set it out there that I can't get rid of it?
You should be able to hit the X. So if you hit the chat in the bottom, you should be able to hit the X in the top right corner of the window that pops up, and it should close.
I didn't want to get out of the whole thing. Now that says leave meeting.
Yeah, not that. If you click at the bottom middle of your screen, click chat, the chat bubble, and it should open.
I don't have it anymore. Oh, because we're on share. You're on share screen, I think, or no? I don't know. I don't have that. I said mute, stop video, participants, share screen, reactions, more, leave.
Try more.
Chat. There we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't know if you just had more power.
No, no, not for that.
Katie,
thank you very much.
Katie, the updates page is the same thing as the YouTube, except the updates.
Yeah, it's lifelongmontclair.org/YouTube, lifelongmontclair.org/updates.
And with an S at the end of it, updates.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
you.
Very nice.
Very
Okay, bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's great.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.